This is the free motion quilting tutorial for Rockin. This design is stitched very similar to Pebbling, and they look very much alike. Pebbling is a series of smooth circular shapes that fit together over the surface of your quilting space to create a look almost like pea gravel. This is Rockin, where I tried to create the same effect, a similar effect, but with straight lines and sharp angles. So instead of stitching circles, you're stitching more like pentagons, hexagons, and octagons. You're concentrating on creating a very angular shape. No circles, no smooth lines. And so everything needs to be kind of boxy. And the one tricky thing about it is that means it's kind of more distracting than pebbling. Because pebbling, you can stitch circles or you can draw circles easily, then you can stitch that design probably without thinking about it too much. We don't really draw hexagons and pentagons very often, so this is probably going to be a little bit more challenging, but it looks really cool. It's basically supposed to look like the scales of a lizard or like small rocks on the surface of your quilt. This could easily be used, in the desert landscape where you want something a little different, not as smooth and soft as pebbling. And it also would look good if you had, like, let's say, a quilt with a lizard or a snake on it. You could use this as the snake's scales. This design is going to work well in pretty much all areas of your quilting space because you can pretty much control the size and the shape of the shapes that you're making at all times. You can make them bigger, you can make them smaller. If you start having trouble keeping your lines straight, try shrinking the design back down again. Oftentimes when you try and create shapes that are really big in free motion with straight lines and sharp angles, it can be challenging to keep those lines straight at all times, mostly because we enjoy making curves, and that's a little bit easier to stitch. When I first started free motion quilting, I found straight lines and sharp angles to be quite difficult, and it took a few years for me to be able to stitch them without feeling like I was pulling my own teeth out of my head. It's just one of those things where it's different for everybody. So try this design and see how you like it, and see where it's going to work best in your quilt. Another good place, another good idea for you to use it would be the center of an applique flower. This design would look a lot like small seeds in the center of a sunflower quilt, or just simply the area of a center area of a dandelion. You could try it in both of those areas. See what it looks like. So that's it for this video on Rockin. For over 250 more videos on free motion quilting, go to daystyledesigns.com.